Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Every Other Day vlog with Andy with Be Libre. So today we're going to get a little political, and I'm going to try to bring a little bit of positivity with this political. Do you call it a rant, or when you're the only one talking? I guess we'll just call it a political rant here. But I'm going to try to make it as productive as possible, and let's see if we can do that. So, in this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about several things. First, it's the fact that the way that our government works today and our political system works today, I believe I think it's lost its way from what it was intending to be when it was first brought into existence. We all know that government, we all say the word government, and we wonder, well, what facet of the government, what branch of the government are you referring to? Or are you just referring to the entire machine of government? Governments I understand that the whole point of a government is to make essentially allow the community to work in a much better fashion than if we just tried to delegate things independently to each other, so that we don't have 10 people trying to do the same thing in a community with using the same resources. We would say we delegate a few things, so we delegate the use of one thing to one person, delegate the use of another thing to another person. I know that's very vague, but I think there is a lot of merit to trying to organize an entire community under one idea or several ideas that are all agreed upon by everybody. And you start to see a theme here, which is consensus. And of course, that inevitably brings us back to cryptocurrency and how Bitcoin works, because we figured out decentralized consensus. So if you can see where I'm going with this. Our current governmental system was very much necessary when we didn't have intercommunication, when we didn't have the telecommunication technology that we have today. We had horse and buggy, we had snail mail, we had mail that had to be sent from you had to get on a horse and in order to move mail or move information from one place to another. And so that's government had to be very centralized, and now we've really the concept of governance, I believe, is going to be challenged very soon, and it's not a bad thing. This isn't a call for revolution or anything like that. It's merely a call for an update to how we do governance, because I think it's necessary. And besides this wardrobe, what is the update that governance looks like, or a governance would need to continue benefiting the society, the populace? And I think it's got to do with how our governance structure is organized. And I don't think it's doing anybody any good to have it structured the way it currently is anymore, where you vote for very few people to decide on big hot topic issues that really do change and really do affect the lives of many people. From the top down, I think we need to flatten the governance structure, and I think that's going to happen through, I believe, the use of technology, and namely cryptocurrency. I really do believe that the technology that's unlocked money to be used online in a decentralized fashion is definitely going to change the way that we do governance. I don't believe that spending as much time as we do, as much brain power as we do, fretting and worrying about what demagogue is going to be at the top of the governmental food chain. Y'all know who I'm talking about. There is no need for that anymore. We don't need to decide on one person to make such groundbreaking movements to determine everybody's livelihood day to day. That's no longer necessary. It's absurd that one person have that much control over what everybody does. And I understand that there's a checks and balances that government leans on to make sure that one branch doesn't have more power than another. But I believe even that system itself, as much good intentions as it may have, is certainly antiquated. And big difference that I can see in going from this top-down approach to a more lateral approach in governance is, instead of voting on individuals to decide on big issues for us, because you all know that it's really easy to place all these wishes and desires on one candidate who says, I have your best interest in mind. This is the way that I see topics A, B, and C. I hope you'll vote for me. And then we will move forward and implement those desires that you guys have into your societal structure, into your everyday life. Sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. And what do you do when it doesn't? When that candidate doesn't implement desires A, B, and C, or issues A, B, and C that you voted them into power to handle for you? Well, you got to wait a while to vote the next person in who says he or she may or may not implement those societal changes that you wanted, that you even voted person A into the fold to begin with. So what I foresee is a governance structure where instead of voting for one person to make the change that you desire, just voting on the changes to happen, whether or not a person wins. Like, you don't place all your hopes and desires on issues on one person. We start to have votes on the issue itself. So, for example, you say, well, we want to fix roads A, B, and C by this date. It is the budget. So we have a certain amount of money. There's a certain budget. It's either going to go to project A, B, and C or not. And you decide as an entire community if that's going to happen. I think before, the technology wasn't there to make those kind of changes, or to make those kind of votes reasonable, or what's the word, to fit our reality. As in, every day, could I sit down for an hour and make votes on certain issues in my day-to-day? I mean, some people maybe won't be bothered to do that, but others certainly will. If it's going to affect the bottom line of my day-to-day going-ons, I'm certainly going to want to sit down for an hour, and using a platform powered by cryptocurrencies, definitely make votes that can't be forged, that can't be obfuscated, that can't be changed, that will be transparent on a blockchain. Bitcoin's blockchain, certainly I'd want to make votes for issues A, B, and C to be handled in whatever way I want. And obviously, the majority, people that have a key, for example, or people that have a certain unit of currency attached to their account, would be able to make votes on whatever issues pertain to their zip code or their nearby, wherever they may live. I think it's certainly possible. I think a reality where you're voting day to day on issues based on you living in that area, and the proof being you earn a certain unit of account, or you earn a token that shows or that allows you to vote on this platform, that has everybody organized into whatever community you're a part of, which gives you a say in a vote. I know I'm kind of getting into the weeds here as to how it would work, and obviously there's all sorts of issues that you have to deal with and account for in making a platform like this work, and changing the governmental structure to be a lot flatter, a lot more lateral, less power above, and more just power throughout. So yeah, these are just my thoughts. Tell me what you think. Please subscribe, please like, share with anybody you like, and talk to you soon. Bye.